Today we're talking about Volkswagen and Skoda. 52 facts about the company that sells sausages, built the Beetle, created the Golf GTI in secret, survived one of the biggest scandals in car history, and somehow made German weirdness look normal. Number 1. Volkswagen's best-selling product is not even a car. It is a sausage. VW makes its own official currywurst, and it even has a Volkswagen part number. In 2019, they reportedly sold more sausages than cars, over 11 million sausages. That means somewhere inside Volkswagen, a meat product is outperforming actual vehicles. Number 2. Volkswagen lets you adjust the pitch of your car's backup warning sound. And because this is Volkswagen, they did not just make it higher or lower. They harmonized the pitch changes, so you can basically play little songs while scrolling through settings. That is peak German behavior. Even the reverse beep needs music theory. Number 3. In 2021, Volkswagen accidentally created one of the dumbest PR disasters ever. A document leaked saying VW would rename itself Volkswagen to show its electric future. Then VW confirmed it to media outlets, everyone reported it, the stock moved, and then VW said, "Actually, it's an April Fool's joke." The problem? They started the joke in March. That is not a prank. That is financial confusion with a press release. Number 4. Volkswagen once replaced its slogan, Das Auto, which means the car, with the slogan, Volkswagen. That is it. Just the company name. Imagine paying a marketing department and their biggest idea is, what if the slogan is literally us? It might be the most German rebrand ever. No poetry, no emotion, just the badge. Number 5. Volkswagen's origin story is dark and complicated. The Beetle was created as a cheap, people's car in Nazi Germany, designed with help from Ferdinand Porsche. But World War II stopped normal production, and VW's factory was used for military vehicles and forced labor. After the war, the British took control of the damaged factory and almost dismantled it. But Major Ivan Hirsch saw potential in the Beetle, restarted production, and basically gave Volkswagen its second life. Number 6. The Beetle was designed to be so airtight that it could actually float on water for a while. That sounds like a joke, but it became part of the Beetle's weird charm. Most cars are advertised as practical, fast, or safe. Volkswagen could quietly say, "Ours might survive becoming a bathtub." Before we continue, if you enjoy videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of time, research, editing, and money to make, and your support really helps us keep going. Thank you. Number 7. The Golf GTI almost did not happen. In the early 1970s, Volkswagen engineers wanted to make a sporty Golf, but the board did not see the point. So the engineers built it secretly after hours. When they finally showed the prototype, VW management loved it and approved production. The hot hatch was not born in a boardroom. It was born because engineers ignored the boardroom. Number 8. The 2001 Volkswagen Phaeton had visor mirrors with 2 levels of zoom. That is such a tiny luxury detail, but it also makes complete sense. The Phaeton was Volkswagen trying way too hard to prove it could build a luxury car, so naturally even the mirror had to feel overqualified. Number 9. If you pick up a new Volkswagen directly from the Wolfsburg factory, VW can deliver it from a giant automated glass parking tower. The tower is about 48 meters tall, holds hundreds of cars, and is recognized for its speed. Volkswagen did not just build a dealership experience. They built a vending machine for cars. Number 10. Some Volkswagens can detect if the driver stops responding. The car will try to wake them by tightening the seatbelt, jolting them, braking, sounding warnings, and eventually pulling over and calling for help. That is actually impressive. Your VW may be weird, but if you pass out, it can become a very serious German babysitter. Number 11. Volkswagen's famous Think Small campaign changed advertising. In America, the Beetle looked tiny compared to huge domestic cars. So instead of pretending it was big and powerful, VW joked about how small and strange it was. That self-deprecating style was unusual at the time, and it helped make the Beetle cool. Volkswagen basically won America by roasting itself. Number 12. The ID Buzz has a tiny image of an ID Buzz under an umbrella that only appears when the rear wiper is on. It is a small Easter egg, but exactly the kind of thing owners love to discover. Volkswagen knows nostalgia works better when it comes with cute hidden details. Number 13. In the 1960s, Volkswagen had a bizarre campaign where parents could get $100 in savings bonds if they proved their child was born inside a Beetle. Over 200 children were reportedly connected to the campaign. How exactly people proved that is a question I do not want answered too deeply. Number 14. Many Škodas come with built-in umbrellas and ice scrapers. That sounds simple, but it is genuinely clever. Some brands give you fake vents and plastic chrome. Škoda gives you the thing you actually need when the weather is terrible. Number 15. In 2008, Volkswagen briefly became the most valuable company in the world for one day because of a massive short squeeze involving Porsche. Porsche tried to take control of VW. Investors betting against VW got destroyed, and Volkswagen stock price exploded. For one chaotic day, VW was worth more than anyone, not because it suddenly became perfect, but because finance people started eating each other alive. Number 16. The name Golf does not come from the sport. It comes from the Gulf Stream, because many Volkswagen names are based on winds and currents. Jetta, Scirocco, Bora, Vento, Passat, VW was basically naming cars like a weather channel with wheels. Number 17. After World War II, the U.S. government offered Volkswagen to Henry Ford II for free. Ford said no, because he thought it was not worth anything. That might be one of the worst missed opportunities in automotive history. Ford looked at Volkswagen and basically said, "Nah, keep it." Number 18. The famous Kong dog toy exists partly because of a Volkswagen bus. A man named Joe Markham noticed his German Shepherd loved chewing on a rubber suspension bump stop from a VW bus because it was almost indestructible. That inspired him to create the Kong toy. So yes, one of the world's most famous dog toys has Volkswagen suspension DNA. Number 19. The designer of the Beetle's air-cooled engine was paid only about $20 for his work, according to the source. He also designed the famous VW logo for very little money. That is painful. Imagine creating parts of a global automotive icon and getting paid like you fixed someone's bicycle. Number 20. Volkswagens can automatically turn on air recirculation when you shift into reverse, so you do not breathe in your own exhaust fumes. That is a small feature, but it is classic VW, very practical, weirdly specific, and the kind of thing you never think about until someone tells you. Number 21. Volkswagen almost built a Wild Group B Scirocco rally car with 2 engines. The board rejected the project, so the motorsport team worked on it secretly. Since they had no budget for all-wheel drive, they put one engine in the front and another in the back. It made sense, handled well, and was powerful, but racing officials rejected it before it could live. The 2-engine Scirocco was denied greatness by paperwork. Number 22. The Volkswagen EOS was the first hardtop convertible with a sunroof, which sounds impressive until you remember the entire roof can fold away. A sunroof inside a convertible hardtop is such a strange idea. It is like putting a small door inside a bigger door and acting like you invented freedom. Number 23. Volkswagen infotainment systems use proximity sensors that hide labels and buttons until your hand gets close. It makes the screen look cleaner, but it also feels very German. Even the menu does not want to speak unless you approach it properly. Number 24. The Beetle's design was heavily disputed because it looked very similar to the Tatra T97. Tatra sued Volkswagen over the rear engine, air-cooled concept, but the case was interrupted by World War II and Germany's takeover of Czechoslovakia. Years later, Tatra resumed the lawsuit and Volkswagen had to pay a settlement. So the Beetle's cute shape also has a legal shadow behind it. Number 25. The 2018 Golf RK fob came with a standard plastic bottom piece, but VW included a separate shiny metal R-branded piece that owners had to install themselves. It was free, so why not just install it at the factory? Nobody knows. Volkswagen somehow turned a key fob into a tiny homework assignment. Number 26. Gunhild Liljequist was Volkswagen's first female designer, and she gave the Golf GTI two of its most iconic details: the plaid seats and the golf ball shifter. At first, people mocked the ideas. Now those details are part of GTI identity. Sometimes, the weirdest design choices become the whole personality of the car. Number 27. The Volkswagen Polo Harlequin started as a tiny promotional experiment. VW built a few multicolored polos to show how modular and customizable the car was. But people liked the ridiculous look so much that Volkswagen ended up building thousands of them. It was supposed to be a marketing tool, and accidentally became one of VW's most recognizable weird cars. Number 28. Volkswagen's history in Brazil includes serious accusations from the dictatorship era. The company was accused of helping authorities monitor, target, and harm employees connected to opposition or union activity. Decades later, VW reached a settlement over those allegations. It is one of the darker reminders that big car companies are not just machines and logos. They are tied to politics, power, and ugly history. Number 29. The famous DSG fart is not just a joke name. It happens because during quick shifts, the gearbox and engine management cut fuel and change gears so fast that unburnt fuel can combust in the exhaust. That pop or fart sound is basically your Volkswagen making performance noises through controlled mechanical indigestion. Number 30. The original Beetle was tested for durability using one of the strangest looking machines ever built. It looked crude and homemade, but it worked. Volkswagen wanted the Beetle to survive real abuse, so they tortured it in very Volkswagen ways: simple, rough, and weirdly effective. Number 31. Volkswagen has around 650,000 employees, making it one of the largest employers in the world. That is not just a car company. That is a small nation with factories, engineers, sausages, scandals, football, trucks, and probably more meeting rooms than anyone should ever see. Number 32. In 2007, Volkswagen built a W12 Golf just to show off. They took a small Golf, widened it, moved the engine to the back, and gave it a twin-turbo 12-cylinder making around 650 horsepower. It was completely unnecessary and completely brilliant. Volkswagen looked at a hatchback and asked, "What a supercar, but wrong." Number 33. Domino's Pizza is connected to a Volkswagen Beetle. In the 1960s, two brothers bought a small pizza shop. One brother later traded his share of the business for a VW Beetle. The pizza shop eventually became Domino's and sold for huge money. That means one Beetle was indirectly traded for half of what became a billion-dollar pizza empire. Number 34. The Volkswagen Touareg got some truly insane engines. First, VW gave it a V10 twin-turbo diesel powerful enough to tow a Boeing 747. Then, when that was not ridiculous enough, they put a W12 in it too. The Touareg was supposed to be an SUV. Volkswagen treated it like an engineering argument. Number 35. A giant Mercedes emblem on Berlin's Europa Center was once powered by an air-cooled Beetle engine. That is hilarious. A Mercedes logo, spinning above the city, secretly depending on Volkswagen power. Somewhere, a VW engineer deserves a tiny evil laugh for that. Number 36. Volkswagen has a secretive test track called Airlation, with a straight so long you cannot see the end because of the Earth's curvature. It was built near the old East-West German border, where flying over it was difficult during the Cold War. That gave VW a perfect place to test fast cars away from spies. This is the kind of place where engineering meets spy movie geography. Number 37. Dieselgate was one of the biggest scandals in automotive history. Volkswagen installed software that could detect when a car was being emissions tested and change its behavior to appear cleaner. In normal driving, emissions were far worse. The system was technically clever, but morally disastrous. By the time the scandal exploded, VW had lost billions, its reputation was damaged, and its CEO stepped down. Number 38. If you own a classic Volkswagen, you can buy an official birth certificate for it. It can include details like build date, original paint color, and destination. That is actually cool. Volkswagen gives old cars documentation like they are tiny German citizens. Number 39. The name Tiguan is a combination of tiger and iguana, which makes almost no sense. Tigers are powerful predators. Iguanas sit there looking prehistoric and judgmental. Volkswagen mashed them together and somehow created a crossover name. Number 40. The Volkswagen Thing is literally called the Thing. It was based on VW military vehicles and is full of weird design choices. Only the front doors locked, the floor could be removed, the front hood was huge even though the engine was in the back, and the windshield wiper motor could sit awkwardly in your line of sight. It is one of the most accurately named cars ever because Thing is exactly what it is. Number 41. The world record for most people inside a Beetle is 20. How? I do not know. Why? Also unclear. But somehow 20 people squeezed into one Beetle, proving that human dignity becomes optional when a world record is available. Number 42. In 2006, Volkswagen sold electric guitars with some of its cars. The guitars were color-matched to the cars, had the vehicle's VIN number on them, and could plug into the car's stereo system. That is such a mid-2000s idea. Volkswagen looked at a hatchback and thought, needs more garage band. Number 43. The Volkswagen Carmen Ghia used air pressure from its spare tire to operate the windshield washers. That means if you liked a clean windshield, you also had to care about spare tire pressure. It is a strange system, but also very old VW. Simple, cheap, and one step away from ridiculous. Number 44. Both Nike and Ben and Jerry's have origin stories connected to Volkswagens. Some of the most famous brands in the world started small, moving products around in VW vans or Beetles. Volkswagen was not just transportation. It was a rolling startup office before startup culture had hoodies. Number 45. Older Volkswagens often would not spray windshield washer fluid if the sunroof was open, so you would not spray yourself. That is a funny little feature. VW basically assumed at least one owner would clean the windshield with the roof open and then blame the car for making them wet. Number 46. Volkswagen has said it wants its car faces to look friendlier, while many other brands are making everything angry and aggressive. Honestly, that makes sense. Not every crossover needs to look like it is hunting you. VW is trying to bring back cars that look approachable instead of emotionally unstable. Number 47. Volkswagen was involved in a disturbing legal situation after a former employee leaked many hours of secretly recorded meetings involving supplier disputes. The allegations were serious, involving intimidation and political connections. Then the employee was later found dead in a burned car, with the death ruled a suicide. The whole story sounds less like a car company dispute and more like a crime documentary nobody wants to sponsor. Number 48. Volkswagens can come with emergency rain ponchos. That is actually useful and very on-brand. German cars love hidden practical details, and VW said, "Here, when the weather ruins your life, at least you have plastic." Number 49. The Volkswagen bus was born because the factory needed a safer way to move workers around after World War II. They had flatbed vehicles, but they were not ideal for carrying people. Then Ben Pon had the idea to move the cabin forward and enclose the rear, creating what became the VW bus. One of the most iconic vans ever started as a factory transport solution. Number 50. Herbie the love bug was not officially welcomed by Volkswagen at first. VW reportedly worried the living Beetle would be a liability and pushed Disney to remove badges. But once Herbie became hugely popular, Volkswagen suddenly liked the attention and embraced it. That is classic corporate behavior. Bad idea until it makes money. Number 51. Volkswagen owns a German football club called VfL Wolfsburg. That makes perfect sense because Wolfsburg is basically Volkswagen City. Some companies sponsor teams. Volkswagen owns one because apparently making cars, sausages, and scandals was not enough. Number 52. Old air-cooled Volkswagens had a heater problem because they did not have liquid coolant to heat the cabin like normal cars. So VW routed air through chambers around the exhaust system to warm it up. Smart? Yes. Safe and effective? Not always. But it worked enough to remind owners that comfort in an old Beetle was more of a suggestion than a guarantee.